presentation of the National Football League.
It's a brisk night in the Midwest, but we've got football at Paycor Stadium in the Queen City of Cincinnati, Ohio. And tonight we start Week 14 of the NFL season with a great Thursday night matchup, as it'll be the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. On the visiting sideline, their head coach. His guys are in the midst of a great run. Only one loss in their last 10 games. On the other side, the head coach of the home team. His guys stuck in a bit of a losing streak right now. This offense ready to head back out there as they'll take over with a little over a minute to play in this first quarter. To throw is Jackson. That's caught right side by Worthy. And on a gain of 3 to the 33. These two teams met in Baltimore. You might remember earlier in the year with the Ravens winning that game. So a win here in Cincinnati would give them the season sweep 2-zip. Now it's Jackson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Boy, he ran free there after the catch as that winds up going for 38.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop it. And he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. He finds his man complete. That's Silva. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. Knighton. And the Ravens are going to be set up with a 1st and goal as good running gets them down to about the 4-yard line.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. 1st and goal and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back. And they'll keep leaning on the running game back to the ground. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. A great effort there. His 8th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Ravens are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play there gets them right back up to that level.
The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Here's Jackson. Yet again, targeting and finding Mark Andrews. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain. Jackson. They'll get this complete to Roby. The Raven passing game getting in sync. Another first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Throwing is Jackson. And this is incomplete. Oh, he had 6 points right in his hands, but could not hang on.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Again, Jackson. And that is incomplete. Nearly intercepted. The free safety couldn't quite get his hands around it, and it brings up third down.
Well, every point certainly counts at this stage of the game, but after driving so far, you absolutely know they want to finish it with 6 instead of 3.
Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. A rifles one, that's going to be intercepted. And he will be brought down on what will be the... After an excellent punt, this offense in a tough spot down inside their own 5. Let's start on the ground here on first down. And a hard-earned yard there as he ran through one would-be tackler. It's second down.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. Jackson now. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he takes this just about a yard shy of the 20. They were looking for a little spark and some breathing room. They got it right there, a gain of 14 and a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Now it's Jackson. That's into the hands of Worthy. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that can really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on first and 10. Jackson. That's into the hands of Worthy once again. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Now a pause, and there's an injured Raven in need of some assistance. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a first and 10 at the 43. Up the middle they go. Knighton. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it second and 9.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And he is going to be close to a first down as the tackle made at the Bengals 34. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be third down and about the length of the football. 3rd and inches, and they've got some extra beef up front. 3 tight ends. They'll keep it on the ground. Knighton. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Ravens are an extra point away from drawing level. Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And it's a fumble. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. Even though he recovered his own fumble, you know how much he hates to put the ball on the ground. He's going to be frustrated with himself.
And what do you think the time frame was from the time the ball escaped his grasp to him getting it back? It didn't take that long, right?
Right.
To him, it probably felt like hours because he's agonizing, like, I've got to get this football back. Able to get it done.
Real quick.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here. Now a handoff up the middle. Knighton. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Here's Jackson. Connecting with Andrews. Gosh, given the time in the short game, would he have been better off just dropping that?
Yeah, when you look at the clock, you think so, but it's hard to get a receiver to drop a football. They're trained to catch everything.
What a kickoff to the week this has been. Now a big play. It's 3rd down. Jackson. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to get out of bounds with the 1st down. So that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the 1st and save a timeout. That's what they need right now. Get the 1st down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Here's 2nd down and 3.
21-yard line. It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3.
They'll keep it on the ground. Knighton. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. And now all of a sudden the shoe's kind of on the other foot. Maybe you pull the reins back here a bit?
Yeah, a little bit, because you got to make sure that you don't score too quickly.
Now 1st and goal.
Hey, Alpha, come on. Come on.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow, wow.
Well, they came so close, Charles. They were knocking on the door in a one-possession game, but ultimately the defense held tough to get the victory.
And doesn't it feel like it just leaves them asking what could have been? So many moments when they could have had a big play to change the outcome of this game. And let's face it, none bigger than that final snap that just fell short.
So for Baltimore, the win moves them to 12-1 now on the year. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week, where they take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for